Hey guys, I'm Courtney Scala. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see, I have got, well, at least in my opinion, one of the best Harley Davidsons in the current 2025 lineup. I have got the Lowrider ST on loan for a couple of days, so let's take it for a ride and have some fun. So for 2025 on the ST, it's got more power, it's got some updates on the tech, and it's got revised suspension as well. Okay, so let's start with the styling for the 2025 Lowrider ST. It is super 80s with this kind of large fairing and the saddlebags. It actually really reminds me of like the kind of early 80s street glides. And the kind of Stranger Things paintwork, 80s paintwork that they've kind of gone for on the Softails this year. Just, yeah, all of it screams 80s. The colours, the logo, and to be honest, I really dig it. I think it's really cool, and especially on this Lowrider ST, as the styling of the bike is so 80s anyway, I actually think it really works well.
So the Lowrider ST starts at £21,295. It comes in a range of colours and also an option of a chrome or a black trim. However, the black trim starts at £1,450 extra, and unless you want to go for the standard colour of billiard grey, all of the other options cost £550 extra. And there's also a special edition colour of Midnight Firestorm, which is £1,400 extra. So more or less you're going to be spending between $550 and $3,000 extra depending on your choice of colourway on this bike. So pretty expensive. Best not telling your partner about that bit when you're looking to buy one. So this 2025 Lowrider ST boasts Harley Davidson's new Milwaukee 8 117 high output V-twin engine. They've actually got 3 versions of this motor used on different bikes. So the Lowriders have the high output, and the Street Bob and Heritage have the classic version, and the Breakout and Fat Boy have a custom version. So this ST has 114 brake horsepower and 173 newton meters of torque. It's 1923cc, so it's just an absolute beast. They've enhanced the mid and top end performance with the redline increased to 5,900 RPM, which delivers a much more kind of aggressive riding experience, which frankly you'd need to be on a track in England to truly appreciate and kind of utilise this engine. This thing is insane. This bike would be absolutely incredible, I bet, though, on American roads where you could just really open it up, because it just seems to have endless power. And it even has riding modes, which is still a fairly new thing for Harley Davidson. Just the standard road, rain and sport, but on an insanely powerful engine such as this, it's a really good addition for sure. Size-wise, she's pretty big, 304 kg, with a nice low seat height of 715mm, but it is just big. Like, the fairing, despite having this kind of strange gap where on like a road glide you might have a massive kind of TFT dash and speakers there, even without all of that, the fairing is still pretty sizable, and the bike is also really long at about 93 inches, so it takes up some room in your garage, that's for sure. My little dirt bike had to be kicked outside for the week. Tech-wise, 4-inch analog speedo with just your basics on it, ABS, traction control, and I think you can plug in for heated gear. It does have cruise control, which I think is a must for this kind of bike, so the essentials are all there, but for the money, it's probably not as much as you might expect.
So I think for me, the Lowrider ST is that kind of perfect blend between being somewhat of a kind of touring capable bike, but also the same bike that you would take out on the weekend and thrash around with your mates. This bike is so much fun to ride. It handles the twisties amazingly, and with that new high output engine, if you are the kind of person that likes to ride your Harleys quite hard and you love to go full throttle on the twisties and hit those higher RPMs, this will be the bike for you. So yeah, the handling on this bike I think is by far one of the best I've felt on a Harley Davidson, and in general I think the Lowrider and Lowrider ST are just amazing fun on the twisties, and also just that bit bigger and more capable on long distance kind of touring stuff as well, where you've got the saddlebags and you've got that wind protection. For me, this is that kind of perfect hybrid. I personally wouldn't want to go for something as big as like a street glide or road glide or anything like that. This to me is that kind of perfect in between. It is still a really big bike, don't get me wrong, but once you actually get going and you pull away, that weight just disappears and you don't notice it at all. For me, I am only 5'6" and I'm quite a petite person. I did find getting this bike in and out of my garage a faff. Not impossible, but a faff. I wouldn't give it my 10 out of 10 marks for that for me personally, but like I said, the weight does disappear the second you start riding. So in that sense, I can't really criticize it too harshly. If you're a bigger, stronger person than I, you are probably not going to find the weight too much of an issue. I find in general Harleys aren't always known to have the best suspension, but I've actually been really pleasantly surprised on the Lowrider ST. It's pothole central where I live at the moment. Every road is really bumpy, really shaky, just awful road conditions, and actually I've been really quite surprised at how smooth it's all felt on the ST. But like I said, great fun on the twisties. Perfect for touring as well. I bet this bike is so much fun out in the States. I would love to be testing this bike out over in America as opposed to trying it on all of the tiny English roads, but hey, I'm still thoroughly enjoying riding this bike the last few days. It's been really nice just to be back on a Harley Davidson in general anyway. As a lot of you know, I started with Harleys and I was Harley obsessed for years. I've ridden for about 12 years now, but my first 7 years riding was all mostly on Harley Davidsons, and they will always have a place in my heart. And yeah, I absolutely love the Lowrider and Lowrider ST models, and it's been really great to be able to actually have a proper ride of the ST. There are other bikes more suitable and more designed specifically for touring in the Harley lineup than the Lowrider ST, but for me this bike is probably that perfect blend of a really fun bike to enjoy the twisties on the weekend with your mates, and also a really comfortable practical solution for touring and just really putting on the long miles on your motorcycle. Thank you so much to Harley Davidson for loaning me this absolutely gorgeous Lowrider ST. I have loved riding it the last few days and really hope you enjoyed the video.